Evening all, and welcome to episode 26 of Kerbalism. Now last time out we had a very successful testing of these little moon rovers on Kerbal, and a not so successful landing of one on the south pole of the moon. I'm back here taking another one down, trying to land it with reaction wheels this time so it can actually manoeuvre. And the reason I've jumped straight to the moon here is because of the brightness. Now at the end of the last video it became very dark, very difficult to see anything, and I'm sorry about that, but I didn't actually realise it was doing it. It wasn't like that when I was recording it, it's not how I see it, it's something that happened in the encoding of the video. I'm not sure why it only seemed to affect the last part of it though, so quite weird. I'll double check, make sure this is all right here, but I actually recorded the first part of this and then stopped to go back and double check everything, and then realised I've actually recorded this with no sound. So I've been talking away for about 20 minutes and no one's heard me, so this is obviously me recording afterwards. I'm just coming in to land on the moon here, and we'll do a bit of driving around and see whether this is a good place to put our base or not. So after a nice gentle and successful touchdown here, I decided to move all the fuel from the descent vehicle into the rover. I'm not actually sure why I did this. It made the rover heavy, a little bit weird to manoeuvre, but well, I did it anyway, and it worked for now. I think I was thinking that maybe I could move it around, and then if I need it later on, I'm not sure, but that's what I did. It obviously went a lot better this time. It managed to actually fall over because of the reaction wheels. I decoupled some of these little nodes here, just checking the wheels to make sure they're not broken. There we go, decouple that node there, decouple from the descent craft, and we're on the moon. Of course, reaction wheels are very powerful. They cause the craft to bounce and do all weird things, so here I just have to turn off the I'll try the SES first, but that obviously doesn't work, so I turn off the torque, I think it is, switch the torque to SES mode only. There we are, and then I can turn it on and that will keep the craft nice and level. And we're here, we're driving around on the moon. I've got a spectral analyzer on the craft, but that doesn't work when you're such low, well, when you're on the surface. But yes, here we are, the little base buggy. It's working, it's on the move, it's driving around, it's success. So the first call of action is to try and get this other rover working. Now the only way I can think of actually trying to get it back on its wheels is to bash it. And I tried bashing it a few different times, a few different ways. It's got no electric charge in it at all, so there's no way I can lower them legs to try and get it to roll over, which is unfortunately a big problem. I can't dock with it either, it's just slightly too high. So yeah. Bashing it around, pushing it a bit, doing things, it's clear it's not going to work here. I decided perhaps I'll just go off exploring and see what we can find. Now, upon setting out to go on an adventure, I realise that we're not actually getting any electricity. The solar panels are blocked by the terrain. The sun is down behind the ridge of the mountains, so I need to figure out how to try and get up to one of these ridges and try and get the batteries recharged, because we're going to soon become stranded. Oh, I managed to make it up on top of one of the ridges. It's quite clear from the graphics here that this ridge is getting sunlight, because it's brighter on one side than the other, but unfortunately the game doesn't exactly work that way. You need to be a lot higher, you need to have absolute direct link to the sun in order to get any charge. You can see here it's still underneath the ridge in front of us, but the actual ridge that is in front of us clearly shows sunlight on it. A little bit of a bug there, but Well, I decided the best course of action here is to quite literally park up and wait for the moon to rotate round for the sun to come back. It seems about the only thing I can do, because otherwise, well, if I keep driving around like this, I'm just gonna run out of power and become completely stranded. So, after waiting at the top of the hill for a little while for the sun to come round, I charged the batteries up, drove back down again, and had a small accident. It would appear that coming down the slope, wherever it was I was coming from, at high speed, causes the thing to fall apart. Obviously, it was held together by the reaction wheels that were inside there. They were clearly the weak part. They've caused it to fall down. I might see about putting them on the outsides, I think, and then putting the docking ports next to them. That would probably strengthen the whole system, cause this to be much more rigid. But yeah, it's fallen apart. That one's still there. There it is. It's still sat there with all its fuel on board, I believe. Yep, it's got all the fuel on board. I have been looking at where to actually go. Zoom out a bit more. Down here is I believe it's a bit weird to understand looking at it from a distance, but I think if I could end up up here, there's a ridge just there. I think that may be a good place to go, because although I can get sunlight, not all year round, but obviously I can get a lot of sunlight, I would need lots of batteries to keep it going, or RTGs and fuel cells and things, but I'm not sure about getting fuel. I just think, although this is nice and smooth, I need to be up on an edge. So either I build the base up here, or I build it down here and have some way of going up to the ridge to get solar power when the sun goes away. That's still quite far away. That's a good sort of, I think, 2.5 kilometers away. So yeah, we'll see. There is, of course, a big surface of the moon to go to. I could land anywhere really, but from what I understand, the South Pole is pretty much the best place for permanent sunlight. There is a ridge here. I believe that's the one. It's a little weird to understand from some of the things I've been looking at, but there is a ridge apparently on the South Pole, or near the South Pole, that gets sunlight all year round. So I think it might be this one here. That might do it, but it isn't really somewhere you can build a base because it's not big enough. So either I come down here and put it there, or I choose to do it down here somewhere and just sit on the edge near Kerbal, so it's got a constant link to Kerbal, and deal with battery power. I'm not too sure. I kind of like the idea of staying at the South Pole. I think that's probably my preferred thing. So yeah. So 2 rovers, both of which are now completely inoperable. Do I go for a third? So I decided to go 3 for 3, sending another rover to the moon. However, hoping third time's a charm doesn't get you any money, and we're running a little bit low of it. We've only got 160,000 left. We do have a contract to harvest some food in space, but we're still waiting for that to actually be ready to harvest. So I need to have a look. There is a contract here to get temperature surveys in certain places above the moon. That's doable, I feel. The craft that I normally take there has plenty of fuel on board, so I feel that's quite easily doable. So I'm going to accept that one. And also, there was to reposition the satellite here. It gives us 17,000, but should be fairly easy to do, providing of course that satellite has any fuel on board. I'm not really sure. It expires in 47 minutes, so let's go and quickly have a look at probe delivery. And here is probe delivery. She's got plenty of monopropellant, absolutely loads of it. I'm not sure whether it actually shows me the position they want to put it in. No, it does not. You can see that I've gone a little bit overboard on the communications relay around the moon. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave them there or delete them or something, but for now they can just stay and we'll see what happens. Right, so this has the ability to move on it. Let's go back to the Space Center. Accept the contract. Thank you, Gene. Come back to probe delivery and see what we've got to do. So it's there, and it needs to go there. Okay. Seems easy enough. We go over to the point here where it meets, and we simply adjust it. Yep, that looks good. Right, now, I don't think we're going to get a burn time. No, we're not. It can't figure out what these do. That one is disabled. These two are not. And they are set to actually use as a throttle. So let's just point ourselves around here. And travel around to our next manoeuvre. Okay, so, and let's turn the ISS on and fire at the engine. And, well, quite interestingly, this has got an awfully long way to go. So I'll be back once it's done. Right, and that should have put us in roughly the right place. Let's see what our contract says here. Yes, there we are. Complete. And another little 17,000 credits. Thank you very much. And a quick trip back to Gene Kerman shows us we've got some new contracts that could be done. We have gather some scientific data from the surface of the moon. We're obviously going to be going and doing that because that's the whole purpose of these rovers. But also, quite interestingly, we have rescue Derek Kerman from the surface of the moon. That's quite an interesting contract. We've done rescues before. We did a little rescue program of trying to save everybody. So I think we'll pick this one up and go and rescue Derek. And make sure to remind him to stand clear of all doors, whether they're opening or closing. And here we are on our way to the moon, over there. This is fairly ambitious. I've got the rover with the reaction wheels on the outside this time. Hopefully it won't fall apart. I've got an unmanned pod here. And I've got a satellite on the end with one of the ScanSat modules. I intend to drop off the module in orbit of the moon and have it scan the surface from there. Set the rover down, obviously go around picking up the temperature scans because we need to do that for the mission, for the contract, sorry. And then set the rover down somewhere near Derek, drop the rover off, have Derek jump in the pod, and have this entire section come back to Kerbal. All in one go. That's the plan. Plans for me don't have a wonderful habit of going well, but, well, I'm sure we've done worse. So, managed to get up into orbit. Used a lot more fuel than I normally do getting up into orbit. I forgot to change gravity turn to 10 meters, so it went up a lot more. So I'm trying my hardest to get to the moon without using, but to be the most efficient way to get there. So I'm just touching the edge of it, and then I'll slow down there and figure it all out as time goes on. I'm not entirely sure where Derek is on the surface. There's the 3 places we need to go. Derek is on the other side. Now there is a small drawback to this. If I go over the top of Derek, no, actually he won't load until we're within about 2.5 kilometers of him, so we'll be fine. All these are above 8k, 6k, 11k, so we'll sit at about sort of 15k and do a polar orbit. And yeah, see where we get to. At the moment we're here, so let's adjust our trajectory. That's the word I'm after. Bring it in, bring it up. That's a little too far up. Wow. Right. There we are, straight over the pole. That's pretty much what we want. Another 275, and we've got... I'm not entirely sure what we've got here, actually. We're on stage 3 at the moment, so we've got 515 left here, so yeah, that should be okay. Point ourselves in the right place and accelerate time to where we need to go. And fire the engine. Nice and easy manoeuvre, nothing major. And there we go, that should be enough. Oh, got the engine. And yeah, that looks good. So, right, let's go over to the moon. And here we are at the moon. The good news is, it appears that my little satellite network works. It's all bouncing around. Obviously, our rovers at the bottom have got direct link with Kerbal, so that's not important. But if I was to choose to put a base on the equator, we can get signal to Kerbal. That's not a problem. However, for this, we obviously need to slow the hell down and put ourselves in some form of orbit. Let's see, if we drop our periaps down to about, say, 40. Does 40 look good? Yeah, I think 40 sounds good. There we are. 41, that's close enough. That's going to be a little bit more than this stage has in it. That's not really a problem, I don't think. I think if we just get into an orbit first, we can figure out everything from there. The other one's got 914 delta V on it. I can't remember how much it is to actually get away from the moon and back to Kerbal, but I'm sure we'll be fine. I'm sure. And fire the engine once again. Burn up everything we've got left. Right, and well, we're in orbit. That's good. We are in an orbit. Not a very good one. Could have done with doing that a bit better, coming over them. But we're here. We are here. We do have monopropellant. I brought some monopropellant there. I thought that would be a good idea. I'm going to detach this now. Decouple. And what I'm going to do with this one is actually speed it up. I want to put this one in a circular orbit. Start. Altitude is absolutely ideal. So yes, it wants to be at about 400k. So we need to point ourselves prograde again. Oh my. And I'm an idiot. I have used up all the electric charge on this without deploying the solar panels. It's dead. Okay, so that's failure number 1. Right. As for this, we can of course ditch that. There we are, we don't need that there. And we will need to come in closer to those, I feel. I think we'll definitely have to come in close to them. I'm gonna try and use the RCS for that though. I think it's a heavy craft, but if I can save the fuel that's in here, we should be okay. We've got a lot of fuel in there that I don't think is being... bash ourselves back into the satellite there. That's okay. That's a bit of space debris now. It's of no use to man or beast. I can transfer fuel out of this into that. I forgot about that. So we're actually a lot better on fuel than I expected. So let's actually just fire up the main engine, shall we? Let's do that. Right. So, front engine. Bring us down to about 40. There we are. And then warp around to here. Point ourselves. I use the RCS, I suppose. Why not? Point ourselves retrograde. Fire the engine again. There we are. 40, 40. Excellent. Nice round orbit. And now all I think we need to do is go round and round and round until the moon turns around. And here we are, entered the first site. We can log the temperature here, and that will give us one part of the contract complete. Something has dawned on me, however. I plan to rescue Derek, but I've got no life support on this craft. I am not sure how long the life support that's in here, the food, water and oxygen, would actually last. It's about a day to get out. I know I can get back to Kerbal a lot quicker than that, but I'm not 100% sure how long it would be. I'm not sure whether Derek would run. I may go back to the Space Center first and just double check the numbers, because I wouldn't want to kill Derek before we've got him back. That would be absolutely terrible for PR. That would be, you know, we went to rescue him and forgot to actually send him any food. So he's back, but he's not alive. That wouldn't go down well. It would go down even worse than the door situation. So yeah, I think I'll get these other 2 temperature scans here, and then go back to double check just how long a standard pod supplies last. And here we are, a little while later, back in the vehicle assembly building with a default Mark 1 cockpit. It's got the default configuration, same as what's up on our little rescue craft, and the supply system says we have 5 days of oxygen. Nitrogen's not important. We have 5 days of food, and we have 5 days pretty much of water. So yeah, the little command pod does definitely have enough supplies in it to bring Derek back. Okay, that's very good to know. And here we are, back to the moon. I've just collected the final temperature scan, so all three of those are complete and the contract is done. All we have to do now is save Derek and transmit or recover scientific data from the surface of the moon. Derek is on the direct opposite side of the moon, pretty much, so we could come down straight away. We could sit here at Apoaps and pretty much land on top of Derek instantly. The moon is rotating that way around, so yeah, that's pretty much where we want to aim for. Okay, we're coming for you, Derek. Okay, so there we are, coming in slightly away from Derek, but that shouldn't be a big problem. We can adjust that as we get a bit further down. There he is. There is Derek there, by the looks of it. Excellent. Oh, let's get a little bit closer. Now, I think we're going to slightly overshoot the target, so I want to start slowing down again here somewhere. But I also want to try and fire ourselves that way to push ourselves over towards him. That's better. Not fantastic, but it's better. Down again we go. Right, now I need put the engine a bit. Can't exactly rely on putting our retrograde marker onto the target because we need to come in above it slightly and then stop and drop on top of it. If we just was to aim directly at it, we would come in at quite a bad angle for landing. Really want to be facing that sort of way. I have managed to come over a bit too far here. Try and correct that. Not entirely sure I actually know really what I'm doing here, to be quite honest with you. I know how to sort of aim for a target to land at, but I definitely wouldn't say I'm perfect at it. Oh, I think I've actually made it go up a bit there. No, that's okay. Right, so if we go again. Yes, we've slightly overshot the target. That's okay, that's not a problem. Right, let's pretty much stop our horizontal speed even. Nope. And then come down, hopefully nice and gently. We found Eric. He's still alive. Excellent. However, we're going to get all sorts of warning about his life support systems not working. Oh, we have a problem. We have a problem. We're dead. We're dead. Right. Right. I was not watching the fuel levels. Not watching them at all. And we have run out of fuel in this lower stage. And, would you believe it? Blown the engine off the bottom. Oh, the joys. Right, we also managed to take out a few things here. Did we lose a wheel? I think we did. Yes, I think we've lost a wheel on the front there. Right. Right, let's decouple that. Switch over to our little rover. Can it drive? Will it drive? No, I think we have once again stranded a rover on the moon. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Right. So, Derek. Hello, Derek. Derek was in a airlock. Well done. Right. Derek. For some reason, cannot jump. Derek apparently cannot jump. He's not allowed to jump. That's very strange. How odd. Right, let's take some data and we'll run over to the shuttle because he can't apparently jump or do anything along those lines. So okay. So after that 1.3 kilometer walk over, I think I figured out the reason why he cannot leave the ground or jump at all. And I think it's to do with this here. He's got 1,000 electric charge, food, water, and 10,000 oxygen in that spacesuit. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's not the default values. My guess is that Kerbalism adds these large numbers to a pilot or a person that is discovered so they don't die instantly. It can sometimes take a little while to get exactly where you need to go with them, so that's what that's there for. Now I could use this to my advantage. I could leave Derek just out here and not really worried. That's got to be a couple of days worth of stuff there, but that would be a little bit cheaty. I feel that would be sort of taking advantage of it. So I'm going to put him in the pod. However, even though I detached the cart, the buggy here, it somehow made its way down there. I think it is sliding. I think because it's missing a wheel, it's sliding. So by the time I actually get a rescue craft out, it might be down there somewhere. I don't know. Gonna have to leave it for a bit. Right. Now, in order to get Derek, I'm gonna have to rotate this around. We apparently don't have any communicate. No, we don't. This has no antenna on it. Ooh, fiddlesticks. Right, so, Derek, can you climb? Oh, maybe. Wait, oh dear. Board. Oh no. Oh. Board. Come on, Derek. I know you're heavy. Grab. There we are, and board. There we go. Right. So, yeah, the pod itself only has 12 water on board, and that apparently lasts 5 days. So Derek was good for about a month. That's a lot. Right. Are the reaction wheels strong enough to stand this up? Because it would be great if they were. Yep, I think we're going to be good. Oh dear. Oh, we're breakdancing. Right. Let's try that again. Legs out. And stay there. There we are. Right, now our solar panels are getting some light. we can recharge the batteries, at least until the sun goes away. Although it should be going that way across the horizon, I believe. I might be wrong about that. I don't know. Derek is an engineer, but I didn't bring any tools. That's a little unfortunate because the pod here does actually have a fuel cell on board. I chose to put one on board to make life a little bit easier. I don't really think I could dock these two together. This has got no wheel and doesn't maneuver properly. No, I think for now I'll have to leave it, and I'll have to send out a rescue mission to rescue the rescue pod that was rescuing Derek. I'm getting some form of deja vu here. But anyway, that will have to wait until next time. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Until then, as always, have fun.